Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is receiving perfect scores from every corner of the gaming industry. What exactly is it about this game that makes it so incredible?
Let's go!
It's a revolutionary title. They're saying things like, this is the new Ocarina of Time. I'm feeling like I felt when I played the first Zelda. It's crazy.
It is. It's quite the phenomenon.
Yeah.
It's really a hype game, and so...
And
it's cool.
We're not even ready to review this game yet.
No.
I heard there are people that have got it early, played 130 hours, played 80 hours. The guy with 130 was 15% through everything.
Holy new cow.
The 80-hour person was 10% through everything. So this game is huge. And I feel for the people that got it early and were tasked with getting a review prepared for the embargo date. But what we can do is talk about what we're liking about it so much. I think it's safe to say if we were to review it, it would be a 10. You're just having a 10 out of 10 fun experience while you're playing this game.
Yes.
And then the few minor gripes, they just don't even detract from the experience. It's like, oh yeah, I could complain about frame rate if I wanted to, but I don't want to. This is as close to a perfect experience as it can get. So you've been having a lot of fun watching and playing, right?
Absolutely.
What do you think?
I really like it. It's totally different, but it's still got the same... It's everything that you wish the other Zelda games were.
I know, it's hard to go back.
And that's where I'm going to come back to. Is it's like the other Legend of Zelda games are fantastic, but this just makes it real. It makes it better without having all of the making it realistic problems.
Yep.
And so it's crazy good from what I've played, and I have barely scratched the surface because I just play it when you guys aren't playing it when I'm with you. So
all right. Well, I think we are going to not spoil any story things. There may be a few gameplay things. If you're very wary about that, just be forewarned. What's really awesome is you can go anywhere. There's something new around every bend that you look. Every time you get up on a high place, you see somewhere you want to go. You can drop little pins on the map. I love it. I go really up high, see as many shrines as I can identify. And then you got choices how you want to get places.
Exactly.
Paraglide, snowboard on your shield,
absolutely,
ride a horse, ride a sand seal. See, that's what I'm kind of saying about gameplay.
Oh man, I didn't even know you could do that.
It's good stuff. I love how you can climb anything. I've been hearing about this game compared to a lot of other open world games where you can't climb everything.
Right.
In this game, you totally can. It's awesome. Ryan was over and we were playing side by side or taking turns, and I got on top of the Hyrule Temple one way and he took the ladder, and I'm like, I didn't even know there was a ladder there. I just climbed the stinking building. So it's pretty fun.
That's really awesome. Now, have you tried to push the boundaries of the world yet? Do you know what happens?
I haven't been able to get to a boundary.
That's so crazy. That just speaks volumes about what it's like.
I like how you can track quests. Because,
yes. Oh.
All the NPCs, they have something they want you to do. And I'm not a big, Zelda NPC guy.
Right.
But I do like that I can talk to them, get a recording of what they want me to do in my menu. And move on, so I can go back to it whenever I want to.
And that's one of the things that I think is fantastic about the game, is that there's no guilt for doing side quests. And what I mean by that is
Ganon's destroying the world, but
no. What I mean by that is you're going through the main story, and then a side quest comes up, and then it's not like you have to stop your storyline and go and do the side quest, or do part of the side quest and go back and further the story so that you can access other areas. There's none of that.
Well, that's a great point, because
stopping
your annoying sidekick would probably be reminding you
exactly
of the next story beat, and you're like, I'm trying to gather up the chickens.
Yeah, it's there's no hurry in progressing through the story, because you're just going to do that, and you can, like you said, you can go anywhere. There's none of those hard stops.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are things preventing you from doing certain things.
Yeah.
but that isn't so big of a deal for me. That's like gives me a reason, like, oh, okay, I understand why I can't be here. Yep. Even though I'm here, I understand why I can't get that. Mm-hmm. It just makes more sense, which most RPGs, I feel guilty, like, oh, I have to go back to the storyline now, or there's X, Y, and Z that I have to do, so...
I love all the weapon variety.
Yes.
There's clubs, spears, swords, two-handed swords.
Hammers.
All kinds of different bows.
Yep.
It's crazy. And they all break pretty quickly. That's like maybe the other minor gripe about this game. Mm-hmm. But it also has an upside because you don't get too attached to any weapons. You're forced to try out other things, and there ends up being something good about everything that you pick up, a new way to fight enemies with it. And then I also really like how you have all these abilities from the very beginning, because since it's an open world game where you can do things in any order, they had to make sure that every player stays on the same track with ability unlocks. Yeah. So you just unlock it all in the Great Plateau. You can stop time, lift up metal. You can freeze water to make ice platforms. You can do all of this stuff just from the very beginning. So you can go anywhere, you can do anything. You're like a superhero. And I didn't think I would like the Sheikah Slate abilities so much when I was seeing them in like the early videos and everything, but they've definitely grown on me.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like how you can, because of those abilities and because of those weapons, you can have so many different play styles.
Yep.
Like when we were going through, and so many different paths, we already talked about going anywhere, but you can be sneaky, you can rush through, and if you're powerful enough, just kill everybody. You can like sneak up on somebody who's like, thinks that there's somebody there and shoot him in the back of the head. That sounds really violent, but it's just so cool. You have to think. Whereas in other Zelda games, there's not so much thinking when it comes to the combat. Yeah, you rush in, and you waggle your sword.
Against Russians.
Oh boy, I'm not. I really am not. But you go in and you slash your sword and they die, or you wait.
Yeah. And
you slash your sword, or you wait and you shoot them in the eye with the arrow, and it's just repetitious. Whereas this, it doesn't get old. So the different play styles, really, you're going to have to figure out what works best for every different enemy.
I forgot to take a note of music, but it's incredible. Awesome piano medleys throughout. There's like a new song for every hour of the game. Not real world hour, but in-game hour. And then this game also features voice acting, which is a new thing for the series. You can definitely tell that some of the characters are voiced better than others, but I am just so glad that it is finally here in this game.
It's not just, hey, listen, and that's all you hear.
Yeah.
It freaked me out at first. Like, the narration starts, and they say the word Link, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's the word Link. And then they, like, actually start saying the dialogue, and I'm like...
a sentence?
What? These people actually know English, and that kind of freaked me out and blew me away.
The graphics are pretty good. Pretty good. Like, really good for an open world game.
Yeah.
For rendering 50 square miles at the same time.
Seriously.
But by graphics, I mean more like, I'm really enjoying the art style. They did a really good job on that.
It is pretty.
And then I'll tell you something else that is evident while you play this game is that the developers have a trust and respect for the player. They're not holding your hand. They're letting you get stuck in puzzles until you figure it out, because you are equipped for everything from the beginning. So they're like, figure it out.
That is good.
You don't ever feel talked down to by the game, which is awesome. And in recent history in Zelda, hasn't been the case. So, good story. The lack of sequence is awesome. Just getting to tackle the shrines in any order. You can really beef yourself up before you ever step foot in a dungeon if you want to. You can go straight to the end boss if you want to.
Yeah.
So,
or at least try.
Yep. And then the implementation of fast travel is perfect.
Huge.
So, last thing for me on this game is I'm just amazed how they were able to make an open world game without making all the common open world mistakes. Like the glitchy stuff that always gets put on YouTube the day after a game goes out, you know?
Yeah, that's something that just shows Nintendo's attention to detail.
Yeah, it's like an open world game with closed world quality. It's so good.
It is. One last note from me is going back to the combat is that the enemies are smart.
Yeah.
And that is a huge thing for me because, you know, the other Legend of Zelda games, they have combat. It's not just a plain old puzzle game. There's combat, but it's so simplistic and you know exactly what each person's going to do.
Yeah.
And you can use the same strategy for pretty much any enemy. Whereas now, if you throw a bomb, the guy is going to walk around the bomb if he's smart.
Yes.
And you can't just do the same old thing for each guy. If you
I've also seen people kick the bomb.
Yeah, or whack it with their tail or whatever. And it's like, it blows your mind. Hopefully they don't hit it back toward you right before you're supposed to detonate it. And it's just goes to show, once again, open world with closed world sensibility.
Yeah.
And even in the closed worlds of the Legend of Zelda games, we didn't have that. Mm-hmm. And so now we do, and it is very much welcomed.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Of course, we're enjoying Breath of the Wild. What else could we possibly be doing with our lives?
Absolutely. We don't have jobs.
Oh, man. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of the crew.
Don't forget to check out our website, twobuttoncrew.com, where we have content every single day of the week.
Yes, it is designed and updated by ours truly, the inner crew here.
Yes.
So please take a look at our work. See you guys next time.
Signing out.